Welcome back. As DOJ has been making cuts in government agencies all across the federal government, a new bill is being introduced that could protect our nation's meteorologists who warn us about everything from hurricanes, flash floods, wildfires, tornadoes.
Yeah, lots of critical information there. Forewarned meteorologist Brian Sherman has the details on how this bill would impact all of us. Hey, Brian.
Hey there, Priya and Jamie. Two congressmen have partnered on a bipartisan bill to reclassify National Weather Service meteorologists as critical to public safety. This would allow for faster hiring across hundreds of vacant positions across the agency. Representatives Mike Flood and Eric Sorensen have introduced legislation putting forecasters in the same category as air traffic controllers and FBI agents. This follows news that the National Weather Service can rehire more than 120 open positions after public backlash about staff shortages across the agency. The congressmen who introduced this legislation say staying safe in severe weather should be one thing we can all agree on. On this fourth-generation farm in northern Illinois, weather and climate predictions dictate everything from water for their cattle to when to plant, and for this mother of four, when to take cover.
I want to be confident that if there is severe weather heading my way, that I'm informed, that I know about that. And if we cut some of these services that have been around for over 100 years, it becomes really challenging for some of those big decisions that, again, ultimately impact our bottom line.
Megan also happens to live in the district, represented by the only meteorologist in Congress, and he shares her concern about widespread staff shortages across the National Weather Service.
I value that in the middle of the night when the worst storm doesn't wake me up, that their warning will wake me up so that I get my kids down in the basement. That is of incredible value.
That's why Eric Sorensen visited his local weather service office to listen to and encourage the forecasters stretched so thin. Sometimes they can't do basic things like launch a weather balloon.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Fewer balloon launches also grabbed attention 300 miles to the west and across the political divide.
Well, I could see it in their eyes. They were burnt out. They were concerned.
Mike Flood visited his district's weather service office in April, also short-staffed at the time, when 6 tornadoes hit eastern Nebraska. Right after, he called the White House and pushed for what became the announcement that 126 vacant positions would be filled across the weather service, roughly a fourth of the total vacancies.
We're fixing it. We're going to fund them. It's not going to get privatized. And I think it's an opportunity for some real change and hopefully some additional investment.
Now Flood is partnering with Sorensen on a bipartisan bill to further protect weather service forecasters by reclassifying them as public safety alongside FBI agents and air traffic controllers. That would be a first in the 155-year history of the National Weather Service.
We have to make sure that we're protecting them because they don't just serve my constituents here, they serve constituents of every member of Congress.
I really feel confident. This is not a partisan issue. This is not a red issue. This is not a blue issue. We all see the value in it, including the White House.
The bill introduced is called the Weather Workforce Improvement Act, and it has 6 bipartisan sponsors in the House and verbal support of the president. Along with the president's support, Flood tells us he's working with the House Appropriations Committee to ensure the National Weather Service maintains full funding. A spokesperson for the National Weather Service says they'll soon post openings for those 126 permanent mission-critical field positions. We'll continue to follow this bill as it makes its way through Congress. Speaking of the folks at the National Weather Service working hard today with rain into the forecast.